Sent them to, and we all choked down some stuff you wouldn't believe. And we sent them to Senator Schumer, my friend. He refused to bring the bills to the floor of the Senate. Now, that's when he was in the majority. You really think he's going to allow us to vote on a budget when the politics have changed and his politics? If you do, you're Willie Nelson high. You're smoking some of the best dope God ever put breath in. What appropriations process? All we've got left are CRs and rescission packages. And President Trump's not the first president to ever send a rescission package, is he?
No, sir.
A bunch of presidents have, haven't they? And did civilization melt?
They did not.
No, they didn't.
In one of the most explosive Senate moments we've seen in years, Senator John Kennedy absolutely torched the broken budget process and went straight at Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. No filters, no gloves, no patience for nonsense. This wasn't some sleepy committee hearing. This was John Kennedy on fire, calling out a system that's driven America deeper into debt while pretending everything's fine. And what he said, it stopped the room cold. Kennedy opened by shredding what he called the fantasy of today's appropriations process, and he didn't dance around the blame. He pointed directly at Chuck Schumer. No sugarcoating, no political padding. What sanctity? What integrity? What appropriations process? That's how hard he hit. So buckle up, because this one matters.
Mr. Director, I want to apologize for the protesters, but I can assure you that under congressional rules and the laws in the District of Columbia, they will be promptly punished and put on double secret probation. You'll probably see them back again today. I think the president's demonstrated that he understands that what you allow is what will continue. We seem to have a problem with that concept. I listened to some of my colleagues accuse you of doing everything but abandoning your children to wolves. They accuse you of undermining the sanctity and integrity of the appropriations process. And I'm sitting here thinking, what sanctity? What integrity? What appropriations process? I'm proud to serve on this committee. I watched this committee last year. We passed 11 out of 12 minibuses. Sent them to, and we all choked down some stuff you wouldn't believe. And we sent them to Senator Schumer, my friend. He refused to bring the bills to the floor of the Senate. Now, that's when he was in the majority. You really think he's going to allow us to vote on a budget when the politics have changed and his politics? If you do, you're Willie Nelson high. You're smoking some of the best dope God ever put breath in. What appropriations process? All we've got left are CRs and rescission packages. And President Trump's not the first president to ever send a rescission package, is he?
No, sir.
A bunch of presidents have, haven't they? And did civilization melt?
They did not.
No, they didn't. Now, you want to know how we got $36 trillion in debt? Just listen to this. Let me tell you what it's like, a majority. And not everybody. A majority of this body, they're all for cutting spending porn. They're all for going to heaven. But they're not ready to make the trip. That's how we got to $36 trillion. This stuff about PEPFAR, oh my God, you're going to destroy the world. Now, there's a part of PEPFAR that deals with money for life-saving care, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And there's a part of PEPFAR that you look at it and you want to say, pass me the sick bucket, isn't there?
Yes, sir.
And you're getting rid of the sick bucket stuff.
Yes, sir.
You're getting rid of $5.5 million to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex advocacy in Uganda, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
I can't believe we're arguing about this. I can't believe we're arguing about this. PEPFAR, we're not denying life-saving care to anybody, are we?
No. And $10 billion would remain for that funding.
And a couple of my colleagues have made the point, well, this was President Biden. President Biden ate my homework. And these programs have already expired. Some of these are multi-year programs, aren't there?
Yes, multi-year grants.
John Kennedy didn't just show up to that hearing, he showed up for the American people, in a town drowning in empty promises, backroom deals, and budget sleight of hand. Kennedy stood out like a lighthouse in a storm. He didn't speak in rehearsed talking points, he spoke in blunt truths, and he did it with grit, humor, and zero fear. While others tiptoed around leadership failures, Kennedy went straight at them. Especially Majority Leader Schumer. He exposed the hypocrisy of a Senate that claims to care about fiscal responsibility, while refusing to pass budgets, dodging votes, and letting the national debt explode. He made it painfully clear, this isn't governance, it's avoidance. Kennedy didn't just complain, he explained. He laid out how taxpayer dollars keep getting funneled into political pet projects and ideological causes overseas, while Americans at home are crushed by inflation, broken infrastructure, and government waste. He reminded the room of something Washington seems to forget. Being in office isn't about power, it's about service. And when the topic turned to public broadcasting and unnecessary spending, Kennedy sliced through the noise with one simple question. Why are we funding institutions that push politics instead of public service? While this country is staring down $36 trillion in debt, that's not obstruction, that's common sense. In a chamber full of lawmakers comfortable with the status quo, Kennedy stood alone. Not because he was loud, but because he was honest. He said out loud what millions of Americans are already thinking. Washington is out of touch, the system is broken, and real reform is long overdue. While others posture and pretend, John Kennedy leads with plain talk and principle, and that's exactly why his voice matters. If more leaders had even half his backbone, Congress wouldn't be wandering blindly in the fog. This wasn't a rant, it was an exposure, a broken system laid bare by one senator willing to speak the truth, no matter who it rattled. John Kennedy didn't just confront the chaos, he dismantled it with facts, humor, and fearless conviction. If you believe America needs more leadership like this, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. More people need to see what real accountability looks like.